How to save money on a monthly salary. Money saving advice from experts. If you want to improve your financial condition, you must learn to save money from your earnings. Wealthy people frequently say that it is not how much money you make, but how much money you save that matters. Those who have had trouble saving might want to rethink their spending habits. It doesn't matter how much money you make. If you give in to the temptation of spending everything, you won't be able to save anything. How to save money on a salary. It's time to devise some tactics for maximizing your income savings. You can accomplish it if you examine your habits critically. Consumers might find it difficult to modify their purchasing patterns. It is nevertheless possible if you put in the necessary work and concentration. The first step is to identify the issues. If you don't know what your poor spending habits are, you won't be able to modify them. Begin today to make your money more secure and pleasant in the future. Decide how much money you want to save. You're well aware that you desire to save money. However, simply saving money isn't enough. It is beneficial to be more explicit. You should have an idea of how much money you wish to save. Knowing how much you want to save gives you a goal to strive towards. It assists you in structuring and filling out the specifics of your savings strategy. Decide how much money you want to save from your income. This will have an influence on your financial goals. When it comes to deciding how much to save, your income will play a big role. Your income restricts you to a certain extent. However, keep in mind that the emphasis should be on what you save rather than what you make. Choosing a reasonable goal. When it comes to deciding how much money to save, you should set a reasonable goal. When it comes to saving objectives, too many people feel upset because they are unrealistic. It's a fantastic idea to desire to save money from your salary. Attempting to save too much too soon, on the other hand, may result in burnout. Even if you're trying to save money, you'll need to have some fun. This means you should be conscious of your limitations. The most effective method to do so is to create a budget. You'll be able to choose how much money you'll set aside for pleasure and unnecessary expenses this way. Strategy for retirement. The majority of people's primary saving goal is to be able to retire at some point in the future. Early retirement preparation increases the likelihood of a comfortable retirement. Even if retirement is a long way off, it is essential to make preparations. Consider how many more years you'll be working while creating your savings strategy. Determine how much money you can put aside each month for retirement. Consider whatever retirement money you've previously set up. Hopefully, you'll be able to count on a pension from your employment. Otherwise, you may already have some 401k funds. Consider your current savings when making your plans. Minimize the amount you're spending. The majority of us are guilty of overspending. Unfortunately, cutting costs isn't always simple. There are several financial temptations all around us. It's better to avoid temptations while you're attempting to save money. Avoid situations where you could be tempted to spend money. They say that old habits die hard. This is unavoidably correct. Nonetheless, discipline has a role in almost every element of life achievement. There is no exception when it comes to financial achievement. Your financial goals will be easier to achieve if you become more disciplined. Create a plan to save money on your salary. You now have all of the information you need to decide how much money you want to set aside. The next step is to come up with ways to save money. You must determine how to start saving money. Fortunately, there are a number of methods to save money from your salary. A few examples are shown below. Be aware of your total earnings. Save automatically. Things you don't need to sell. Expenses should be kept to a minimum. Reconsider your borrowing habits. Boost your credit score. Even if you don't owe a lot of money, debt may be costly. If you have bad credit, your debt may be more expensive than it needs to be. Raising your credit score might help you pay off high-interest debt. Your money might be severely harmed if you have bad credit. Paying off your credit cards and loans might help you improve your credit score. Also, make a point of paying all of your bills on time every month. Debt consolidation. When you have a lot of credit card and loan payments to remember each month, it may be difficult to keep track of your money. You might wish to combine your debt if you have a number of open accounts. Debt consolidation is accomplished by taking out a second loan to pay off several outstanding obligations. Then you just have to repay one debt. Make sure you take out a debt consolidation loan with a low interest rate. Examine your credit card balances and rates of interest. You should think about your credit cards while re-evaluating your borrowing habits. If you have a lot of credit cards, it's generally not a good indication. Keep track of the interest rates on all of your credit cards. If you have a high interest credit card, you should close it, or at the very least, stop using it. This will reduce the amount of money you pay each month in interest. You have more money to put into savings when your interest payments are reduced. Search for new ways to make money. You want to start a savings account with your earnings. While it is true that saving is more important than earning, a bigger income will make your job easier. Consider ways to enhance your earnings. Is working a second job an option for you? Is it feasible for you to work overtime in your current job? Consider the possibilities. There's still one more thing to consider: a savings account. Consider placing all of your second job earnings into a savings account. Roll with the punches. People that are financially successful know how to take advantage of economic downturns. They find innovative ways to solve financial and professional problems. If you want to save money from your salary, you must learn to make the most of whatever life throws at you. Take advantage of the chance to acquire low-cost shares during a recession. Setbacks and unpleasant surprises should not discourage you. Rather, you should learn to use them to your advantage. Things on which you must spend money. It's time to think about how you spend your money. You'll have to spend money on some things no matter what. What you can do is take a look at all of the expenses you have to make. Then think of methods to cut back on your spending on these items. This is a wonderful way to save money on a monthly basis. You might wish to start by evaluating your required costs while budgeting. When you eliminate needless costs and reduce required expenses, you save money from your salary. Don't make the mistake of attempting to eliminate all needless expenditures. However, you should make every effort to keep needless spending to a minimum. Reduce all of these costs for yourself, and you'll be able to save a significant amount of money from your salary. Rent or mortgage. You'll need a place to call home. You must pay rent if you rent a property. If you own a property, you may be responsible for paying a mortgage. Property taxes must be paid even if your mortgage is paid off. You must deal with either rent or mortgage property taxes as a required cost. You may, however, be able to reduce your rent or mortgage payments. If you rent, you might be able to find a cheaper place. If you own a house, you may be able to lower your monthly payment by refinancing your mortgage. Utilities. Utilities are an unavoidable cost. Electricity, water, and perhaps a fuel source such as home heating oil must all be paid for. All of these costs are unavoidable. You may, however, be able to reduce these costs. You may save money on utilities by using less electricity. You may also upgrade your household appliances to be more energy efficient. Food. Food is an unavoidable cost. You must consume food. If you have a family, you must purchase food for your entire home. Every week, you need to go to the grocery shop. Most of us, though, can reduce our food expenditures if we try. When you make more items yourself, you save money on groceries. Ready-to-eat meals are usually more costly. Phone bill. For the most part, communication is necessary. We require the functionality of our phones for both professional and personal purposes. Every day, you have phone calls to make. You most likely have a cell phone bill to pay these days. There's a chance you'll also have a landline bill to pay. Switching providers might help you save money on your phone bill. Insurance. You may be obliged to pay for a variety of insurance policies. Home insurance may be required to protect your home. If you drive, you must have automobile insurance. Those who have financial obligations to others may need life insurance. Another crucial source of protection is health insurance. If your employer does not provide health insurance, you may have to pay for it yourself. Clothing. Clothing is an essential cost, but it is also one that may be reduced. Clothing is something that most of us overpay for. In reality, the vast majority of us have far more clothing than we require. Try to avoid the urge to buy clothing on a whim. Clothing is one of the most probable items to collect and get tossed into the back of the closet. Consider selling or giving any surplus clothing you may have. Transportation. Transportation costs may add up quickly. This is especially true for drivers on the road. Payments on a car may quickly pile up. Additionally, paying for petrol might be a substantial monthly expenditure. By acquiring a less expensive and more energy-efficient car, you may reduce your driving expenditure. Things you shouldn't spend your money on. The expenditures listed above are items that you will almost certainly need to purchase. There are a slew of additional items you may avoid purchasing. It is critical to limit needless purchases in order to save money from your salary. Eating out. Certain out-of-pocket costs appear to consume a significant amount of our money. Dining in a restaurant is a great example. Dining at a restaurant is a joyful experience. In contrast, a dinner cost for 2 people at a good restaurant can easily approach $100. Reduce the number of times you eat out every week. Things to do in your free time. Entertainment is another non-essential expenditure that may rapidly add up. Going to the movies or to a concert may be rather pricey. If you're trying to save money, it's a good idea to start thinking about inexpensive ways to keep yourself engaged. Finally, don't overlook the value of learning to save money from your salary. If you don't save, you won't be able to advance financially. On a monthly basis, you must have a surplus of funds. You must persevere in your efforts in order to enjoy the benefits. Saving money for a month is insufficient. To save money, you must set away money from your salary on a monthly basis. You now have some excellent suggestions for stretching your pay. Set attainable objectives. Keep your spending to a minimum. Remove any purchases that aren't essential. When you don't have to, think twice before spending money. Small actions taken over time have a surprisingly large influence on your financial situation. In the long term, the changes you make will improve your quality of life. When you learn to save money from your salary, you'll have more money to put toward major life goals like retirement. The financial safety net also gives you more peace of mind. Don't wait any longer to get started on your new savings plan. If you liked this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to stay up to date.